Do you love me?
I sure do. You're so dreamy. I'm surprised that it doesn't put me into sleep mode.
Welcome to my channel where I do tech reviews of smartphones, smart devices, smartwatches, laptops and whatnot. And I give my personal opinion after using it. So if you like that kind of content, make sure that you subscribe. Anyway, let's get started. Nest Hub is a smart display. If you don't know what Nest Hub already is, you can check my other video, links in the description below. It's just a smart screen with Google Assistant inbuilt. So you can fire up Google Assistant just like a normal Google Home device, but the special thing about this is it has a screen. And you shouldn't expect anything beyond that. It's not a phone, it's not a tablet, it's just smart assistant with a screen. Let's talk about design. In the first glance, you can see there is obviously a screen, 7-inch AMOLED screen, and it also has an ambient light sensor, ultrasonic sensors we'll talk about in a while, and long range several microphones, and a not so good set of speakers. So if you really want to buy this for sound quality, you better not. And for that, you can buy a Google Home or even a Nest Mini. And if you want to know how you can win this, check the description below. I personally have put this in my nightstand, and you can put it on a work desk or even a kitchen, but depending on how much time you are actually going to use it or spend time there. If you are spending less than 1 hour in a particular place, I don't recommend to put this because there's no point. Let's talk about the screen. Obviously there's a screen, and one thing I really like about the screen is it changes the temperature and also the brightness according to the surrounding. And the pictures in this device looks as if it's printed. I don't know how they do it, but it looks so natural. So I really like the screen. But it does not have the highest quality in this world. So if you need to watch videos in the highest possible quality, probably don't buy this and go for a proper tablet or even a, I don't know, Surface laptop or something. You still can play YouTube videos, see pictures, whatnot, but it's not the best quality ever. Regarding the sounds, it's pretty straightforward. This does not sound good. I mean, it's not the worst speaker ever, but you cannot really expect high quality music playback from this device. If you want to play high quality music, then you can go with the Nest Hub Max, which has a bigger screen and better quality speakers, but it's expensive. It's 250 euros. But I have linked my Google Home to this Nest Hub, and it does an amazing job. It's perfectly fine. The sound is really good in the Google Home. If you want to see the comparison of the audio, go to the description and there is a video for my comparison. Let's talk about the features. Maybe you already know, or maybe you don't, about the Google Home smart devices and the smart assistant. I'm not going to talk about the generic features of Google Assistant. I probably won't ever. But this is about special features of this device. The best feature ever is that instead of saying something, I just can tap the screen and just get it done. For example, if I want to turn off my lights, I just can swipe down and just turn off the light. Sometimes I'm too lazy to talk. I go to bed and I want my lights to turn off, and I was like, I just turn around and tap it, and that's it. And it's super easy to do some of the tasks when you have a screen, because sometimes Google Assistant might not understand you, but this is super easy because you just can tap it. It can act as a picture frame. You can use the images provided by Google, or even you can link your Google Photos album. It's super simple. You just have to do it on your Google Home app. And apart from that, it can also act as a bedside clock, something like this. And it just tells time and it dims down when the lights are off. And it's super helpful. Yeah, but I paid right now 120 for a bedside clock. No, there are more features. Apart from that, I can use this device to control my smart home devices like my smart lights and my air purifier. And there are other stuff as well. And it's super easy. You just down and all the controls are there. You can also trigger the routines, but you cannot really change them. If you want to change them, you have to use your Google Home app, just like any other Google device. You can't change your routines. You have to use the Google Home app for that. So for me, it's fine because I'm not changing my home routines like every day. You can also check Google News, which is suggested by Google itself. You can also play YouTube videos, but also recommended by YouTube. You cannot really search any news or any videos. So that's a limitation for some people. If you want to just type something and search a YouTube video, it doesn't work. But you can always ask. Play Numb by Linkin Park.
Sure, Numb from YouTube Music. Playing on main speaker.
So it works. This can also show you recipes. If you intend to put this device in your kitchen and if your hands are dirty and you don't want to use the phone with your dirty hands to check what you have to put next, Google Nest Hub is for you. So it can show you the steps and the timers and everything. It's there. It can also tell the events happening around you because it knows where you live. And it's Google, it knows what you are interested in. So depending on your interests and your location, it will show some of the events on the screen. You can just look at the details and send the link into your phone if you want to buy some tickets or not. It also can trigger some night routines for you. You can set an alarm, you can play night music, like sleeping music, and it's just super easy. You just swipe right and just click on that and it's done. And finally, you can check what Google Assistant can do. You just click on it and it gives you various, I don't know, weird stuff that Google Assistant can do. And the best thing about this is it gives you visual feedback. It shows images, animations and whatnot. And it makes the Google Home experience much more interesting and more personal. Apart from all of that, you can still use this device as a Chromecast enabled screen. If you watch some videos on YouTube, I don't know, Facebook, you can simply cast it into this screen without any issue, and it works flawlessly. The most important thing about this is not just the features, because it's Google Home, you already know, but the usage, how user friendly this is. I think that's why you are here for as well. And for me, it's super smooth. It never had any lags, any crashes or any slowdown. It just works. The touch sensitivity sometimes can be tricky, but if you get used to it, then it's super easy. You just swipe down, swipe up, swipe left. It works. I really like being able to control my lights and all the smart devices without talking to it, because sometimes Google Assistant might not really understand what you are saying. But this is super easy. You don't have to talk. I know it's bad, but you don't have to talk. You just tap it and it works. So tapping, it really can't go wrong. One small thing, but it improves the user experience a lot, is the ultrasonic sensors. It knows when you are reaching for the screen, and depending on what's on the screen, it can show controls or even quick menus on the screen. And it's super helpful, and it also reduces one more step. You just can change stuff. You don't have to swipe up to change the tracks or go to the quick menu. It's really good. If you have set up night routines and right after you finished, it automatically switches to the clock mode. If you have set up to play some sleep music, it will show the controls. But after some time, it will still go back to the clock mode. It's super easy. You don't have to do anything. It knows what usually people do. I mean, that's pretty much it. So you have to decide if these things are really important for you or not. But of course, this also have some limitations. As I mentioned before, this is not a phone or a tablet. So if you expect it to behave like that, you should not buy this. This is just Google Assistant with a screen. That's it. But still, it's have some limitations. For example, you cannot give any keyboard input, like you cannot search YouTube videos. But for me, it's not a problem because you can always ask. It syncs with your YouTube account for sure, and it gives you recommendations and your history. It's still fine. One another thing I noticed, I'm not quite sure if it's a feature or a bug. The alarms does not get synced between the devices. For example, if you're sitting in the living room and want to set an alarm using the living room speaker, it does not get synced to your bedroom speaker. Set an alarm at 8 a.m.
Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Set. The mic's off. The mic's back on.
Are there any alarms?
No, you don't have any alarms.
It's also good in a way, but also bad in a way. One another thing, it's not always, but sometimes I experience some flickering on the screen. If the light changes or if it has too bright light, the screen kind of flickers, but not always. Now it's not flickering, but sometimes it's super visible. It's also weird to see the screen kind of flicker, but it just go somewhere around. Probably it's something wrong with the sensors, but I don't know. Didn't bother me much, but sometimes it's annoying. That's pretty much it. And the golden question, should you be buying this Nest Hub? It's quite simple. If you need a smart home device with a screen, probably yes. You have several options for sure. You have the Nest Hub, and if you have more cash with you, you can go for the Nest Hub Max. And there are other options as well, like Lenovo screens, but I'm not quite sure because I prefer to go with Google devices itself because it's much easier and it gets all the features first party updates. But also when you decide to buy a smart screen, imagine how much you are going to use it, how often you are going to use it. If you put it on a hallway, you are not going to use it ever. You are not going to spend much time there using this device. So probably you shouldn't buy it. If you want to put it on a work desk or nightstand or even a kitchen, if you cook a lot, then probably this makes sense. Even if you plan to put it in the kitchen, I'm not quite sure how well this is built for these kind of conditions. Not sure if it will last with all the heat and the smoke and whatnot in the kitchen. So if you have a bigger kitchen and if you find a table to put this in, probably you can, but also think about that when you decide to buy this. But make sure this is not capable of playing high quality audio. For that you still need a good speaker. So if you need both, you can still go for the Nest Hub Max with more money. If you're someone you constantly need to see pictures of your family and your friends, this can be a good picture frame, but just don't buy it just as a picture frame because it's a quite expensive picture frame. If you already have a Google Home device, this won't be a game changer, but only a smaller upgrade. I had several Google Home devices, but I settled with Nest Hub and the Google Home because I can use all the on-screen features on the Nest Hub and play music on my Google Home. For me, it's a perfect combination. If you already have some other devices like Google Home Mini or even Nest Mini, it will be only a smaller upgrade with a screen. But if you are getting started with the Google ecosystem, probably this is a good start and also a good smart screen. So what do you think? Do you have a Google Home device and why did you buy it and what's your main use case? If you are to upgrade to a Nest Hub, what would be the main reason for you to do that? Let me know in the comment section below. If you want to know how you can win a Nest Mini, check the link in the description below for my comparison video of not all, but 4 Google Home devices. You will know how you can win one. Make sure you also subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit on the bell notification button for more updates. See you in the next one. Go to sleep.